Welcome to the new video. 1. Dark and lonely. I can't move, breathe, speak or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. 2. Knock. I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first, I thought it was the window until I heard it come from the mirror again. 3. Last man. The last man on earth sat alone in the room. There was a knock on the door. 4. Smile. This morning, like every morning, I smiled brightly at myself in the mirror to start my day off on a positive note. I didn't smile back. 5. Sister. I keep yelling at my baby sister to leave me alone. Mommy keeps saying my sister died before I was born. 6. Don't blink. The doll that I've had since I was a child has been getting closer every time I close my eyes, keeping me awake for 3 weeks in a row. I heard a horrible laughing scream as the watering in my eyes made me blink for what I knew would be the last time. 7. Man with the rope. I tried so hard to just run away from it. But the man with the rope just kept showing up every time I moved houses. 8. Wait for it. I walked up the stairs, soon finding my wife and child, and I examined their bloody corpses through my tear-filled eyes. That was when I heard the footsteps. 9. Look for monsters. Don't be scared of the monsters, just look for them. Look to your left, to your right, under your bed, behind your dresser, in your closet, but never look up. She hates being seen. 10. Shadows. She wondered why she was casting 2 shadows. After all, there was only a single light bulb. 11. Picture. There was a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. 12. Reflection. I just saw my reflection blink. 13. Night shift. Working the night shift alone tonight. There is a face in the cellar staring at the security camera. 14. Witch. After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend cradling her child. I didn't know which was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there. 15. Skin. The longer I wore it, the more it grew on me. She had such pretty skin. 16. Under the bed. I begin tucking him into bed and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." 17. Breathe. She asked me why I was breathing heavily. I wasn't. 18. I heard. A girl heard her mom yelling her name from downstairs. She got up and started to head down. As she got on top of the stairs, her mom pulled her into her room and said, "I heard that too." 19. Doors. In all the time I've lived alone in this house, I swear to God I have closed more doors than I've opened. 20. Scratch. Growing up with cats and dogs, I have gotten used to the sounds of scratching on my door at night. Now I live alone, it's just unsettling. 21. Staring problem. I thought my cat has a staring problem. She always stares at my face. But then I realized all this time she was staring behind me. 22. Can't sleep. I can't sleep, she whispered. I woke up clutching the dress she was buried in. 23. The castle. Close your eyes and imagine a castle. You walk up to the door and open it, go right in, climb the stairs and go to the first room to your right. In there, you will see a beautiful woman holding a large knife in her hand, but before you can even scream, she stabs you in the back. 24. Count. Tommy. Let's play hide and seek. Amy says to her twin brother as she ran around the cemetery alone. Tommy was already dead, so death had counted for a game and for our life to end. 25. Glance. It's always there, the shadow that passed the corner of your eye. Don't try to look. It moves once your eyes move. 26. Last brick. I slid my hand through the damp hole in the wall. I need to stroke her hair again for the last time before I had the last brick. 27. Overcooked. My father wasn't too terrible, but I certainly preferred my mother. Though, in hindsight, I may have simply overcooked him. 28. Dolls. I burned the dolls even though my children cried. They didn't understand my fear. I wasn't the one who moved them into their beds each night. 29. The ride. A nice man in a van with a puppy and candy seemed too excited to give me a ride when I told him my little brother was there alone waiting for me. I'd feel bad about lying to him, but my family told me to bring home dinner, and those types of humans are so easy to catch. 30. Pool. And there my girlfriend was, in the middle of a pool of blood. Without thinking, I joined her and asked, "So how many people did it took to fill the pool this time?" 31. Stalker. I ran around, hoping that the stalker would stop following me, but then I accidentally tripped and now I'm injured. Thank God a nice man helped me get back home. But then how did he know where my house was? 32. Last call. In my father's funeral, my 5-year-old daughter left a phone in his coffin saying that she wanted her grandfather to call her when he gets there. That night, I received a call from an unknown number. All I can hear were horrid screams and crackling fire. 33.1 Missed call. There's a rumor that a person could receive a call from their own number from the future and it will play an unknown ringtone. If you ever answer the call, you will listen to the sound of your own voice in the last seconds before you're dead. It also meant that you're going to die a minute after you receive the call, but there are times when it's just too late. 34. The newspaper. While I was walking home, a homeless man gave me a newspaper from tomorrow. The front page showed me being murdered by a homeless man. 35. 12:07. The last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing 12:07 before she pushed her long fingernails through my chest, her other hand muffling my screams. I sat bolt upright, thank God it was just a dream. But when I saw my alarm clock flashing 12:06, that was when I heard my closet door creaked open. 36. Wake. I never went to sleep, but I kept waking up. 37. Stop. My daughter won't stop crying at night. I visited her grave to tell her to stop, but she didn't. 38. Lullaby. I heard a voice cackling the baby monitor, a voice comforting my firstborn with a lullaby. As I adjusted my new position, I felt my hand brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me. 39. Mannequins. They sent the mannequins in bubble wrap. From the main room, I can hear popping. 40. You're welcome. I couldn't my phone last night. It finally rang and the only thing I heard from the line was, "You're welcome." 41. The corner game. The corner game was just a myth. He never expected everyone was gone once the lights were open. But there he was crying alone in the middle of the room. 42. Man in the snow. You dialed for the police once you saw the wanted murderer outside your window standing in the snow. The murderer came closer to the window, but there were no footprints in the snow. Then you realized it was his reflection.